Hello, welcome back. If you don't know, I'm currently in a quest of getting 1 million mastery on Gumi, and it still feels unreal, but at the moment I'm already at 930,000 mastery for Gumi, so it's gonna take me less than a month to achieve this final goal. So while I'm at it, I just want to do a little recap of how I get here. Some of you might think that I must be a day one Gumi player, but that wasn't the case. You see, around 2 years ago, I started playing Smash Legend after the beta with my friends, and believe it or not, I was an Alice man. Yes, I enjoy playing support as Alice, and I actually was the top 8 Alice in my country during that time, according to the mastery leaderboard back then. Not the new one, because they took it down and then they bring back a new mastery leaderboard now. So you see, after that my friend left. I feel struggle with Alice, so I stayed for a while and also quit. More like I took a break, a long one, and it took me around 10 seasons before I actually came back to Smash Legend around a year ago. Actually, it was right before the release of Victor. So at that time, Gumi was already out, and I wasn't here during day one when Gumi was released. I didn't know anything about the hype. I didn't know anything about the characters. Like, there was so many characters. So it's like 10 seasons, so 10 new characters I've missed. Again, believe it or not, I started picking up Maya as my new main and start playing her, just because I feel like she's genuinely fun to play with. Now, another fact about me that you wouldn't believe is that I do competitive back in the day. Like I mentioned in my other video, I got around Diamond 1 on my own most of the time, and I might hit Master if I want to grind for it. Even though Gumi was already an option, I didn't pay much attention to Gumi at first, but I did pick her up to try out the characters, just because I want to try out every character before I make the decision. So I already know, like, the Prime Gumi, she was something else. If you go on YouTube and look at her release trailer, you realize how faster she does her neutral attacks, and she doesn't get stuck in the 2 neutral attacks animation. She moves also faster. Everything about her was a different character back then. Gumi back then feel like more of a 1v1 characters that she can go in and take on anyone. So I know Prime Gumi was a thing. I just wasn't liking it too much. It wasn't until Gumi got her 2 bad rework. Now, these 2 rework changed a lot of things. It actually changed Gumi as a character completely. So they slow her down, make her projectile a bit longer. Now it can go through target. But now she got stuck in the 2 auto animation. She go from 4 stack down to 3 stack. Reduce damage and everything. So after those 2 reworks, I hear people around me start saying that this character is now completely unusable. Like, nobody gonna use Gumi anymore. And I was curious. So I went on this website, which if you were like me, you will know about this website back in the day. It's called smashlegend.gg. And this website allows you to track all the stats of every legends in the game in competitive. So you can see the win rate, the pick rate, what they wins again, what they weak against, which map they usually have an advantage on, all of that good information. So I look at that stat on that website, and I realized that what everyone's saying were true, because for 5 consecutive seasons, almost 6, Gumi was always the bottom characters with the lowest pick rate. It's either the bottom one or the second to last character with the lowest pick rate in competitive. Now, it's not like nobody used Gumi in competitive, but I just feel like this character got rigged. She doesn't deserve that. Like, She was this character that was so strong before, but just after 2 bad reworks, everybody turned her down. And that was when I decided to give her a try. I officially switched from Maya to a Gumi main. And although her new playstyle is a lot more slower than the Prime Gumi, I feel like it just fit for me. And then I keep going, I keep using her mostly in 2v2, which apparently that's my main game mode back in the day. I used to play Do Touchdown all the time. So I played it so much that you would not believe that I didn't touch 1v1 at all back in the day. But yeah, apparently I did move on to 1v1 because after a while I feel like I cannot improve much in 2v2 and I need to play a game mode that I can improve my Gumi gameplay more on a personal level, and the best play to do that is in 1v1, even though I know after the rework she is not fit for this mode and I'm so scared of getting like completely destroyed. But apparently what I learned and all my experience in 2v2 did transfer through to 1v1. I did find a lot of fun using her doing 1v1, so then I start playing the 2 game mode back to back, switch between 1v1 and 2v2 until I ran into this one Gumi main. And this player, let's call her Chi. So Chi was the first Gumi main I ran into in 1v1 during that time, who actually have so much impact on my Gumi journey. Chi was the first person to show me that Gumi can be played creatively. You can play her out of the box, you can be flexible and not just follow what is set up. Chi was the one who beat my ass so many times back then. And Chi was the first one to show me that Gumi Air Ult was a tech that's so powerful and so inspiring. So after that, I start learning that tech. I start practicing and perfecting this air ult thing for Gumi, and I feel like I had so much more fun using Gumi in a new way that I never knew that I could. So now both my ground gameplay and air gameplay were doing good. Like I can land everything without miss, and it's all thanks to Chi. Right, so skip forward to the time that I hit another wall, because even with all these arrows I learned, it still feels like there's a limit to Gumi gameplay around that time. And even though I know the exact reason for it, I didn't have this courage to try out new things. So the problem was the ability I used to run on her, the butterfly, which is the rare one, which is the aka the yellow ability that most Gumi player will refer to use. Now let me explain why it's not good for your Gumi playstyle. So butterfly is a super powerful ability that allows you to pressure your opponent constantly with only one tag. But it will also double your ult charge, which means if you miss your ult, you have to wait so long for it to recharge. And your main option to use ult is definitely to hit the opponent and push them. So by using butterfly, you limited your gameplay to one option and one option only in all situations. Now I had a lot of good people that helped me improve, that point out my weakness and give me the courage to try out new things, and I finally let go of that rare ability, never touching it again. After that, I never used butterfly again. I start experiencing Gumi in a completely new way. Like I feel like there's no limit after that. I can use my ult for almost anything I wanted, to defend myself, to parry, to push, positioning, anything, anytime I want, without any restriction. And it was so much fun to be able to use Gumi full potential. Fast forward to when they released the new competitive mode, and yeah, I took part in it and I got top 1 on day 1 for like 3 seasons. I think it's only lasts for 3 seasons. and then top 20 after 2 days, top 40 by the end of the season. It was fun, and I don't think I saw a single person who only used Gumi or even tried to use Gumi in competitive duo back when it was available. We didn't have a lot of option to go with back then. Yes, Super Chum was a thing, which was the main thing that allowed me to perform well in 1v1, because we have a lot of difficulty with Jacko, Master Cat back in the day. But I truly enjoy doing duo competitive. I do hope that they bring it back. The reason why it got removed was because they balance between duo competitive and dominant competitive, and they make change that make no sense to the other game modes. So now they remove one mode entirely to focus on the balancing on the other mode, which I think is completely nonsense, because the balancing has never been good. Even if you remove one or two modes, it doesn't change, your balancing is still bad. So that's that. I do wish that they bring back the duo competitive, so now I can actually see how much I improve after all this time. Fast forward a bit more, and it was when they released the new mastery leaderboard. And to be honest, if you didn't know, the top 1 Gumi when the mastery leaderboard was released was not me. It was actually Maxus, who is currently the top 2 Gumi in terms of mastery, and we were both around 300k at that time. He was above me around 30k, and I was like surprised, but I also didn't have any motivation to do this kind of mastery race. But then so many people came to me, messaged me telling me that I'm so surprised that you are not the top 1 Gumi. Why aren't you the top 1 Gumi? You should try and become the top 1 Gumi. And so I was like, okay, maybe I should. And so it took me around 4 days to catch up and get the top 1. So after 4 days, that spot is officially mine, and I have been guarding it for ever since. I did lose it 2 times for less than an hour because I still have full-time work, I still have stuff I need to do. Yes, I do touch Crash. I don't just sit in front of my monitor all the time like you think I do. And now we are at 900k for Gumi. It's been a long way, but it doesn't feel that long to me. I get to meet a lot more players, a lot more Gumi mans all around the world, not only in my region. And overall, I appreciate this journey so much. It was not all pretty and positive, but at the end of the day, I still have so much fun using Gumi, and I don't think that will change anytime soon. So that's my story. Thank you all for listening, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.